I have salespeople ask me, what kind of contact manager can I use to make the sale easy, convenient, so I can link it to, say, my iPhone, or, you know, touch base wherever I am to make the sale convenient?
You know, it's interesting because having worked with a lot of salespeople, one of the things that I think it's fear. You know, people are kind of have a little fear of starting. You know, because what if I'm not prepared? What if? And so what they do is they distract themselves with technology. They go, oh, I should get this in my contact manager, link it with my iPhone. I should link up to Satcom 3 just in case. I need somebody's phone number when I'm 18 miles. It's like, hold on. The magic, especially at first. I agree. There's a really great way to use technology to later to leverage, to drip information to people, to contact. It works fabulously. But at first, when you first start sales, I think of sales as manual labor. And that's, I think sales, there's a lot of, regardless of what you do when you start, there's this 4-letter word that people want to avoid. It starts with a W and ends with K, work. I heard it once said, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to make $1 million, but nobody wants to work. At some point in there, there's a give and take. But I think technology up front, it's a real distraction. What I found best, and tell me if you've ever seen this, because since we do work together, we may have seen this. You ever, when I learned a technique long ago, way back before you had the modern conveniences of how computers and phones and all that kind of stuff works, and it was a milk crate. It's a milk crate with 31 hanging files labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to 31, and then after that we had a January, February, March through December, right? And so today is whatever the date is, the 11th. So today I'd pull out my in front on this hanging file would say 11 on it. I'd open it up, and in there on single sheets, one sheet per idea or contact or whatever, would be who am I going to contact. So in the morning I get in, or better yet, even the night before, I look at day 11 and I kind of arrange it as to the right sequence of people I want to talk with. And so I call the first one. Oh, Jim's going to be back on Friday. Okay. Today is Wednesday, so that would be the 13th, so I go, great. Put a little note back on Friday. Oh, where is he? Oh, he's out fishing. Good to know. So I'm going to talk about Jim. I'm going to talk to Jim. I'm going to mention fishing on Friday. All about reporting relationship. Throw it in the 13th, next one. Dial, do whatever I'm doing. And that works slick. It's as good as it needs to get. And if you really want to go driving around and take the 11th with you, fine, take it with you, because
convenient.
Yeah, and really, under what scenario do you need to? Oh, well, what if the guy I'm going to talk to a week from Tuesdays from now calls me and, well, he's going to leave a message and he's probably going to leave his phone number, right? Or you're not going to need it that bad. Block your time and get a hold of these people and do it this way later, and it makes complete sense because you have so much going on, and maybe you find yourself not running around so much, but more dealing with a referral network. Like one of the things I did was develop this referral network, and I started this back way before email, but this kind of system works. You can apply it to whatever the technology is today. I faxed them, and I printed out an 8.5 by 11 kind of little message, just a little update. Now, this isn't a sales sheet. The sales comes from rapport and relationship with me. What this little stuff I drip on them is not to sell them. It's just a reminder that I'm here and this is what I do. Simple, light, easy. Anyway, so I had this 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and remember Post-it notes. Well, we still use Post-it notes, but
them,
I live on Post-it notes.
The easy things.
Right, but back then, when I faxed this little reminder to all these people in my referral network, hey, it's John, just touching base. Here's a couple of news items, a couple of different cool things that have gone on. Just real short and brief. Nobody has time to read all kinds of garbage. Make it real short and just a reminder. So on my sheet that I had of these people that I wanted to contact every month, I had like a fax header. It was a Post-it note that said their name and their fax number. And so what I'd do is this is on Saturdays. Often I'd spend half my Saturdays doing this, but it's part of that little work process that you need to go through that your competition doesn't. And these are little things that set you way ahead, and you write twice as much business as competition, and they die off and you prosper. And one of the things that really works. So I'd take this little fax header, Post-it note, stick it on the fax it away. And when it came out, I'd peel it off, put it on their little contact record, put it away, put it on the next one. And 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 then later on, computers started coming out with WinFax, little faxing program. So I'd load up my contacts in that, and you can load like 500 at a time. Back then, 500 at a time would crash, so I'd do 200 at a time, and I had easily, at first 100 people in my contact list, and then 200 and 500, and I found that it was about 1,000 to 1,200 people that were in my list that I couldn't get a hold of every month. I want to contact them, I want to talk with them, and I did. I labeled them as A, B's, and C's. A's I called every month. I schmoozing, making sure that we had dialogue and rapport and relationship. B's, only if I got done with the A's, and C's, maybe we never got a call, but A, B's, and C's, I always got a little reminder of, hey, here's what's going on, or a little holiday message, or whatever. So that's how I used to, and then of course now, there's so much that you can use, but still, you need to be careful that understanding the magic's in you. It's not in setting up all this technology in advance. Use it later as when you know what tool you should do. Automated processes should never happen until you have the manual process down.
Right, and I've had salespeople who ask questions, how do I get this set up and this set up? And the thing is, as you talked about the file folders, is how we all started, yeah. And it really worked. Obviously, our numbers have been excellent, and that goes to show for what we've used. But the salespeople spend so much time in trying to figure out how to use these things that they're not focusing on the sale. And like you said, put your focus on what's important, and then down the road get to the next step.
Exactly. That's so right. Focus on you. The magic is in you, not the material, not the technology, because you sell with the right rapport and relationship, the right sales, I don't want to call it presentation, but the right sales flow. That's where the magic is. That's where the money is. And that without that, you never build something to automate. You got to work on the basics, the manual labor part at first, and then leverage it with technology. And that's how it works. That's how people that don't succeed never understand that. They spend the time with technology and spend their time thinking that they can't do it and thinking the competition is better than them.
Just do it.
Yeah. It's the magic isn't actually doing it, and it's really the funny thing is it's not that difficult. You just have to focus on the right, just like anything in life. But you get distracted with all the new shiny gadgetry, which isn't necessary.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.